Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss the goods and services tax and its implications for the Indian economy. Introduced way back in 2017 as the much awaited game changer that would come replacing host indirect taxes, including VAT, excise, and service tax, with a simple single system for streamlining compliance reduction of corruption, and encouraging intrastate trade, this GST had its own set of challenges while rolling it out. However, not limited to the teething problems, posed some technical issues and the list of apprehensions on the part of small businessmen. To begin with, may I deeply appreciate your first opinion as to whether the GST has been able to fulfill its dream or still a lot remains to be done.
GST is undoubtedly one of the most significant tax reforms in India, but its implementation has been a mixed bag. On the positive side, it has helped create a unified market, making interstate trade easier. Business no longer need to worry about multiple tax rates for different states. However, the complexity of filing returns and the frequent rate changes may have made compliance difficult, especially for small businesses. I think it's essential to analyze both sides to see if GST is truly the game changer if it was meant to be. I agree that GST has brought many changes, but what changes smaller businesses have stood out? Huge corporations are seen to be beneficiaries of a straightforward tax system. The smaller business find compliance obligations overwhelming. Contrary to that, GST reduced logistics cost mainly through elimination of intercaste taxes, hence boosting supply chain efficiency. It should be looked at if the good outweighs the challenges for other segments of the economy.
From my point of view, GST brought in transparency about the tax regime. It deprived the scope for taxation evasion in the business model. Now it needs proper record maintenance, making it formalistic about the economy. The trade needs to utilize some time as well as resources of time to educate oneself about tax laws and regular filling of return is also its duty. Second thing that is deserves to be discussed is how far GST has been successful or unsuccessful at the consumption end. So far, it has relieved some items of taxes, but other items have become costlier. So, whether these trade offs have been worth the while, it's anybody's guess.
I, I think GST has been mixed bag. It is certainly helping build a more integrated and more competitive economy. Take industries like logistics or e-commerce, there is a significant improvement. At the same time, frequent rate changes and complex compliance processes are challenging businesses. Stability and predictability are the things we wish to have long-term effectiveness for GST. I would also think if it really succeeded in enhancing ease of doing business.
So far, we have discussed both the positives and negatives of GST. It has simplified the tax. It has simplified the tax structure and boosted transparency. But compliance remains a major issue, especially for small businesses. Consumers have experienced mixed impacts, with some goods becoming cheaper while others have become more expensive. It's clear that GST has potential, but there are areas where improvements are needed. Let's now move into a deeper discussion about its broader economic implication and how it can be improved.
Now that we have set the stage, let's dive deeper into GST's broader economic impact. One of its key goals was to increase revenue collection and reduce corruption. This been successful? While GST has increased the formalization of the economy, the technical and operational challenges can't be ignored. I think it's also important to discuss how GST has affected sectors like agriculture, real estate, and manufacturing, which are vital for India's growth.
I would say that GST has been successful in a few ways, especially bringing more businesses under the tax net. This has enhanced government revenue with which welfare issues can be addressed. But the high rates on some items and most importantly disputes between states and the central government over revenue sharing have raised issues regarding long-term sustainability. It should focus on streamlining the system further and addressing these disputes. Another major factor is how GST will affect the global competitiveness of India. The simplification of structure has brought foreign investors towards India. But for that, we needed a stable and predictable tax policy. Repeated rate changes would not attract either the local or the foreign businessman. More support needs to be provided to small business as well. This could be done by way of subsidy or simpler filling procedures so they also have an effective opportunity to compete.
I think what is very much an issue is compensation given to given to states under GST. Though the central promised it on revenue loss, delays it in have creditor frictions, and it raises questions on fictional federalism. Also, very large variations arise in the treatment given to the consumers. For instance, very few exemptions arise on basic requirements, but dining and transportation services come with very few but higher rates, which bites much into the middle class. Balancing is very much needed.
To make more GST more effective, I believe that tax rates must be more uniform and there must be fewer exemptions. The stable system will help businesses plan and reduce compliance costs. Besides, technology can further is the matter of easy filling of GST by everyone. Training programs and